My family live off my paychecks, but cut me out of their lives because I work with my hands. I'm Jason, 36 years old, and I own a construction company that I built from scratch. This story isn't about a flashy startup or some tech breakthrough. It's about real, hard work with calloused hands and broken nails. It's about building something solid with sweat and sacrifice. But it's also about losing the people who were supposed to love you the most. I started out with a rusty old pickup truck, a cheap nail gun I found on Craigslist, and a dream to never rely on anyone else for money. I spent nights learning how to read blueprints, days hauling lumber, and weekends scraping together cash to pay my guys. Now, my company runs 5 crews, works contracts across 3 counties, and pulls in a solid 6 figures a year. I've got a home I own outright, a loyal crew who trusts me, and a life I'm damn proud of. But my family, they don't see me that way. The root of the rift, my sister Emily. My little sister Emily is the heart of the problem. She's 30 now, and if you look at her Instagram, you'd think she's living the dream. Designer clothes, luxury coffee, flawless filtered photos, and manifest your best life posts that get thousands of likes. She's a lifestyle influencer, but her curated online world couldn't be more different from my dusty, sweat-soaked reality. For years, I was her safety net. When she was evicted, I wired her rent. When her car broke down, I co-signed a loan. When a brand dropped her at the last minute, I sent her $15,000 to cover bills and keep up appearances. Every time she cried that she had no one else, I showed up. I never once judged her or asked for anything back. Emily never wanted a brother who built houses and worked hard. She wanted an accessory, a prop to make her look grounded and real. When I didn't fit the polished image she wanted, I became a liability. The breaking point, the anniversary I wasn't invited to. Our parents' 40th wedding anniversary was supposed to be huge. A garden party with white linens, wine glasses, fairy lights, and everyone dressed to impress. Emily was at the center of the planning, and I was excited to celebrate with them. But the day came and went, and I found out about it not from my family, but from Instagram. I wasn't invited. I confronted my mom. She looked me in the eye and said, "It was kind of a curated event. We didn't think your vibe matched." My vibe? Emily had convinced them I was too blue-collar, too rough around the edges, and that having me there would lower the brand of the family event. She said I'd make guests uncomfortable with talk about job sites and concrete. I remember carrying Emily on my shoulders as a kid, spinning her around the backyard laughing. Now, she wouldn't even let me stand near her at family dinners. That night, I sat alone in my workshop with a cold beer, staring at an old photo of the two of us. That photo was a relic from a time when she loved me for who I was, not who I wasn't. I'd had enough. No more rent payments. No more bailouts. No more emotional cleanup crews. I cut them all off. I changed my number, blocked them on social media, stopped answering calls. I chose peace, or at least I tried. They needed a foundation, but when I was there, they only saw the dirt under my nails. Fine, I'd build my own life. I remember the times I stayed up late helping Emily with her posts, trying to teach her the value of hard work. But I also remember the nights she screamed at me for not understanding her world and accused me of trying to hold her back. The silence after that last birthday when she told me I was too much for our family. This is the story of how I built a business and lost my family, and why, sometimes, the people you support the most are the ones who push you away. Update 2. It's been about 4 months since I cut my family off. For months of silence, of no calls, no texts, no, "Hey Jason, can you help me?" emails. No more pretending everything was fine when it wasn't. I buried myself in work. My crew noticed the change in me. I stopped complaining about family dinners. I didn't answer the phone when my mom called. When Emily's name came up, which was rare, I was cold, distant. Some nights, after the worksite was empty, I sat on the tailgate of my truck and stared up at the stars, thinking about what I'd lost. The warmth of a family that used to be, and the cold shoulder I got for being blue-collar. Then, out of nowhere, my phone buzzed with a message from my crew lead. "Bro, is this your sister? She's trending, and not in a good way." I clicked the link. The video was brutal. An ex-business partner of Emily's was tearing her apart on TikTok, revealing receipts that showed Emily was far from the self-made influencer she claimed to be. Venmo logs? Check. Emails proving she was bailed out multiple times? Check. Pictures of me, in my worn flannel and boots, helping her move, fix her AC, haul boxes, and wire her emergency cash while she posted stories pretending she did it all alone. The comments exploded. Fake influencer exposed. Another one riding on someone else's success. Reality check. Not everything is Instagram gold. I remember late nights when Emily was stressed about keeping her brand afloat. She'd call me, voice shaking, begging for just one more loan, one more favor. And I never said no. I thought I was helping her live her dream. Turns out I was just keeping up a lie. Emily's followers started dropping by the thousands. Sponsors cut ties. A major cosmetics company issued a statement saying they do not support dishonesty in influencer partnerships. She tried damage control, live streams, tearful apologies. It's all a misunderstanding, but the damage was done. Then, the worst moment, she called me. Her voice was shaky, laced with desperation and fury. Jason, you have to help me. You're the only one who can save me from this. Just say it's a misunderstanding. Post something. Anything. I couldn't help but laugh. You built your image on a foundation I poured sweat into. Now that the cracks show, you want me to hold it together? You're just jealous, she spat back. Jealous of what? My followers? My perfect life? I'm the star here. Yeah, I said, voice steady. But stars burn out when the light fades. I build things that last. She hung up. My parents tried to intervene. My mom showed up at my job site a week later, looking worn down and ashamed. Jason, we want to fix this. Emily, she manipulated us all. We never wanted to hurt you. I nodded, but didn't smile. I listened, but the trust was shattered. Every family member who once leaned on me turned their back. I was the backbone, the foundation, but I was cast aside for an illusion. I think back to family gatherings where Emily whispered to my parents about me being too much, embarrassing, and not good enough. To moments where I caught her deleting photos of me from her social media. To the cold looks from relatives who once called me the responsible one, but now avoided my eye. Work became my sanctuary. I poured every ounce of energy into my company, signed a huge contract to restore historic buildings downtown, a project that would have made my parents proud if they had come to see it. My crew rallied around me. They saw me for who I really was, not who my family pretended I was. But the wounds ran deep. The silence in my life was deafening. No birthdays, no holidays, no calls asking for help, just the echo of a family that chose image over blood. One night, alone in the workshop, I found an old birthday card from Emily. She had written, "To my big brother, the strongest man I know. Thank you for always being there, even when I didn't say it." I crumpled it. That's when I realized I wasn't just angry. I was broken. Update 3. It's been 2 years since I cut my family out of my life. 2 years since I stopped answering their calls and stopped fixing their problems. 2 years of rebuilding from the ashes of what they discarded. A new chapter. I'm married now. Not some big fancy wedding that Emily would have plastered across her feed for likes and brand deals, but a small backyard barbecue with string lights, a secondhand dress my wife tailored herself, and ribs smoked low and slow over an old pit in the yard. My best man was my oldest crew member, Mike, the guy who's been with me through every blister, every long night, every hard-earned contract. My parents came. They were quiet, respectful. We hugged, but it wasn't a reset. It was recognition. Emily wasn't invited. She hasn't been part of my life for years. No apologies could undo the damage. Emily called that night, tears in her voice, begging to come. Said she'd changed, wanted to make amends. I told her, calmly, "You broke the foundation of trust. This is my day, built with people who stood with me." She cried, screamed, begged, but I didn't give in. About 6 months ago, I received a letter. Handwritten. No hashtags. No filters. Just 4 pages of raw honesty from Emily. She wrote, "Jason, I get it now. I built a fantasy on a shaky foundation. You were always the backbone, the real deal. I was just the filter, hiding behind your hard work. I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know the truth." I didn't reply. But I didn't throw it away either. The new Emily. From what I hear, and I don't follow her social media anymore, she's moved to a small town. She's working behind the scenes doing design consulting for small businesses away from the spotlight. Her new Instagram is mostly bread recipes and garden photos. No filters, just dirt under her nails. I remember when Emily first got into influencer culture, how she idolized the shiny, perfect lifestyle and resented me for being too rough, too working class. I tried to teach her about real work, the pride in building something with your own hands. She'd smile but say, "That's not for me. I need to be seen, not just do." When family and friendship failed, work became my refuge. Every contract signed was a brick laid. Every project completed was a message, "I'm still standing." My crew became my family. Mike and the guys became brothers. We shared beers on weekends, swapped stories of tough clients, laughed at the absurdity of it all. They know my story, the good, the ugly, the shame, and they respect me for it. My wife. She's the best thing that came out of this mess. Kind, smart, and as unimpressed by social media illusions as I am. She laughs at my bad jokes, reminds me to take breaks, and keeps me grounded when the past threatens to pull me back. But sometimes it still hurts. Sometimes I catch myself wondering what could have been if Emily hadn't pushed me away, if my parents hadn't chosen image over blood, if family meant more than appearances. Yet, I've learned a lesson that's hard-earned but worth it. You don't have to be glossy to be valuable. You don't need likes to be loved. The night I decided to cut them off. I remember sitting alone in the workshop, beer in hand, staring at a photo of me and Emily as kids. We were laughing, carefree. Now, she wouldn't even stand next to me. I felt betrayed, invisible, so I made the hardest decision of my life, to walk away. Today, I own a thriving business. I have a wife who loves me. My crew trusts me. My dog, a stray I rescued from a job site, sleeps by my feet every night. I'm proud of what I've built. And that's what matters. Final update. Months had passed since Emily's letter. Life was settling into a rhythm. Work, family, the quiet peace I'd fought so hard to build. But the past, it seemed, had other plans. One afternoon, my phone rang. A voice I didn't recognize, polite and professional. "Hello, is this Jason? I'm a journalist writing a feature on the rise and fall of authenticity influencers. Your sister's story is a big part of it. Would you be willing to share your perspective?" I paused, heart pounding. I thought about the long nights, the family dinners I missed, the betrayal, the endless exhaustion of trying to fix something broken. I declined. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. So when the article came out, I read it. Emily didn't bash me. She named me the only honest person in her life. She admitted the lies, the manipulation, the jealousy that consumed her. And she owned it. I remember a night years ago, after a family fight, when she pulled me aside, her eyes full of tears and anger. "You don't get it, Jason. No one sees the pressure I'm under. I have to look perfect. If I don't, I'm nothing." I tried to tell her, "You're more than that. You don't have to live behind a screen." She shook her head. "You're just the guy who builds houses. I build dreams." Then came the twist. Emily launched a podcast, not about beauty tips or brand deals, but about failure, growth, and truth. Her first episode was titled "The Brother I Lost," and the truth I couldn't face. She spoke candidly about idolizing me, resenting needing me, and hiding behind a curated lie. I listened, twice. But I still haven't called her. I'm not ready. Maybe not ever. Forgiveness isn't a switch. It's a long road, paved with hurt and hope. My company is thriving. My crew's loyalty is unshaken. My wife's laughter fills the house. And my dog, once a stray, is now family. I once believed shame for my blue-collar life. I thought I was less because I wasn't polished or perfect, but I was wrong. True worth is built with calloused hands and an honest heart. My mom's apology. I remember the day my mom came to the site. "Jason, we were wrong to exclude you. Emily twisted things. We want to make it right." I looked at her and said, "It's not about fixing the past. It's about building a future." Today, I'm still building. Not just houses, not just a business, but a life with integrity. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. More Reddit stories here.